Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? My name's Andrew.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Matt.
I'm Gavin.
I'm Aunt Becky.
I'm the grandpa. And we're some of the Veggie boys. And we'd like to thank you for stopping by. If you're new here, please consider subscribing because we can grow a lot of things on the farm, but one thing we can't grow is this channel without your help. Hey everyone, the last 2 days here on the farm has been quite hectic. We have started corn harvest and we've been hitting it pretty hard. So far, everything has been looking good. The corn has been yielding good. We haven't got stuck in any fields yet, so that's nice. And today is gonna be like the past 2 days. We're gonna be working pretty hard trying to get that corn picked. But for now, we gotta get our chores all taken care of. And the first chore involves the farm market. We've been working on cleaning and setting it up. Callie, how do you feel about setting up the farm market?
Apples.
Oh, apples, yeah, very good. We are just about finished this morning. Only have a few odds and ends that need to be filled up. Apples have been very, very popular in the recent week. So we've just been trying to make sure our stock is filled. Over the past 2 days, how have you felt about corn harvest?
Corn harvest going pretty good. We're working at it slow and steady.
After we're all finished with filling up the farm market, we do have an entire load of corn here that needs to head down into the bin. We've been actively drying the corn that we've already harvested. Thankfully, the dryer has been working really well. We were concerned we might have some issues with it, but after we got it all cleaned up and we maintenanced it, we haven't had any problems. Got our truck all unloaded. We're ready to get started picking corn at any time, but I think we're gonna be holding off till the afternoon. If we can get our other jobs all taken care of, well, then maybe we can get started a little earlier on, but we're not gonna try and push ourselves too hard.
Ready for some food.
And that wraps up animals for the morning. I will say in this greenhouse, it is probably about 10 to 15 degrees warmer, even with the door open. That's why we love using this for calves. We have talked in the near future about putting up a calf barn. We think that would be a good idea for everybody. The only thing is we need to find space to put a barn. Now we have plenty of locations, but none that would be, you know, close and easy to access. Maybe we can figure something out. But when we put up a calf barn, we want to make sure that it's close, accessible, and that if there were any issues, we could get there right away to take care of the calves. Having a calf barn would make things a lot easier because we don't have to clean those greenhouses out, move everything around. For now, it's not a big deal. We'll do the extra work because of how important it is. Or maybe, yes, maybe one day, that will be a thing of the past and we'll have a real calf barn. Then we won't have to use a cafeteria. We'll have to use a calf barn. There'll be no confusion. Is it greenhouse number 5? Is it the cafeteria? You guys get it, you guys get it. So for hauling corn, the boys have been using the truck, but they've also had the new 120 hooked up to our wagon. And funny enough, you know who's been in charge of driving the 120? Joel. You know who's been like a giddy little girl? Joel. Well, I guess we shouldn't say giddy little girl. We should say giddy tough man, because even tough guys can get giddy sometimes. as you can see, our next job is gonna be inside the potato storage. We need to get a few potatoes washed. With the holiday coming up, potatoes are gonna be a big part of it, which means we're gonna be moving potatoes out of here like crazy. So the first step in that is getting enough potatoes washed so that we can bag them up later. Washing potatoes does take a little bit of time, but that's the trick with it. We don't want to run the potatoes too fast through the machine that they're not washed off completely. Now, as we're running the potatoes up over, they've already been grated because we did this once before, but they're running over the grater again just to make sure we didn't miss any smaller potatoes. And then once they fall off the grater, they then move into our washer where there's many bristles in there spinning. We also have a few hoses in there spraying water onto them to effectively try and clean off all that soil. Then once they finish off there, they just drop into our bin. This isn't the most glamorous job on the farm, but it is an important one, and we do it a lot. Not only do we have those potatoes that need to be washed, but all of these potatoes over here are gonna have to run through the same washer. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of washing in the future. And probably the final and one of the most important jobs with washing potatoes, Daniel is searching through and pulling out any potatoes that have spots that wouldn't allow them to store. Sometimes you can't see problems on potatoes until after you wash them. So everybody has a little job. Most of us are just sorting, and then once we have our bin finished, we'll set it over here so that it can dry, and then we can bag later on. Now that's a French frying potato right there. See, that's what we're looking for. We find potatoes like that, we gotta take them out. Wow, look at that potato in my hand. That is a big potato. Just to see how large this potato is, look at it between Joel and I's head. That's a big spud.
Matthew?
No, Daniel, it's a potato, not Matthew.
Oh,
come on, that's not nice.
what's the difference?
Hold on, don't want disaster to happen. Hey, that would be bad. I know what you're thinking, 2 bins of potatoes. I told you it was gonna be serious. One of my favorite things about washing potatoes is that the minute that washer turns on, all these cattle get super excited and line up at the feeders because they know they're about to get a snack. Who wants potatoes? Yeah. If I had to pick what I think the cattle's favorite snack is, potatoes would be #1. Although this year they just seem to love tomatoes, but I always know that when I show up with potatoes, the cattle, they're gonna be ready. Potatoes are now washed, so we won't need to worry about that for a few days. You know, with everything going on with corn harvest, it would be easy to sit here and say, well, worry about the potatoes later, let's focus on corn harvest. But just because we start harvesting corn, that does not mean all the other jobs stop. We still have that farm market to take care of. That farm market is very important to each and every one of us. So we need to make sure the girls and the farm market are taken care of back here at home. Then we can move on to other stuff. Because if I've learned anything in my life, it's that you take care of the ladies first, and everything else goes pretty good. After we got finished with washing all the potatoes, we just worked on cutting up some cabbage for sauerkraut. I have a little bit of scraps here. Our family is a big sauerkraut family, and let me tell you, we eat a lot of it. So all the scraps that we have, we either give to the cattle or the chicken, and today the chickens are getting it. In summertime, it's kind of hard to give food scraps to the animals. It does attract a lot of insects, but in winter, it's not too big of a deal. So we try and make sure that if we do have scraps, they go to the cattle or the chickens. Now, it is just about lunchtime here on the farm, but we've run into a little issue. We're getting low on cabbage, So before lunch, we want to go out and pick some. Our late season cabbage has looked really, really good. And at the rate we're picking, it looks like we're going to completely pick off the harvest soon. And that makes us very excited because if you pick off everything that you plant, whew, that's a good year. Let's go, Grandpa, let's go!
Look what I found.
Ooh,
Hey!
that's important.
That's good since you're the one that lost it.
From a quick look at the cabbage, it is obvious. Yeah, it's been pretty rough for this cabbage. Weather has been quite chilly here on the farm, but that just adds to the sweet flavor that we're gonna get from this harvest. Some big old cabbages. Pull the cabbage right out of the ground. Look at that one. That's a big head.
One more, that's it.
Alrighty, cabbage is now all harvested. We got finished just in time for lunch. So all this cabbage is gonna be going home, and we're heading home too. Now we've already picked a lot of cabbage out of this field. I think we're all very happy with the way everything has looked. Our only concern is there's still cabbage here, and we're gonna be getting some colder temperatures than we've received this year. So, I mean, it is what it is. Hopefully none of them split open from the freeze, but it could happen. For now, we're just gonna continue harvesting what we can and selling everything we could. Alrighty, let's see what we are having for lunch. Ooh, looks like we are having taco salads.
You guys are seeing the filmmaker.
So you guys
for
are
Veggie.
seeing the filmmaker for Stable Life.
So let's hit the road.
Andrew had to step out for a bit, so now you're with me and Joel in the 130.
We are hooked up to the rotary chopper. We're gonna be cutting corn stalks and cleaning up the edges of the fields along the woods, basically keeping all the areas where we rent farmland manicured and nice, keeps the landlords happy. It puts a good taste in the mouths of everybody in the area because when they look out, they see a nice, well-kept field. So that's what I'm gonna be up to.
I'm gonna be with Brian at the combine. We're gonna be harvesting some corn. I'm just gonna...
You're drinking some milk.
I'm gonna be trying my best to get some good shots of that, so don't be too hard on me. And with that final load, that'll be the end of corn harvest for today. Because after those are emptied, the bin will now be full. We just got back to the farm. We were trucking right along. We're gonna see how Daniel's doing unloading the wagon. truck shoveling out the rest from the side. I'm in the tractor waiting for Daniel's signal to turn it off. And Daniel's up top checking to see when it gets too full. I hope you guys enjoyed your time with me, but it's time for me to feed horses, so I'll let you go back with Andrew now.
Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm glad you were able to go for a ride with Gavin over to see how the harvesting was going. Everything looks pretty good. As of right now, our bin, well, she's pretty full. So we're really not gonna be able to harvest too much corn to put in there until we get it dried and hauled out, which is currently what we're doing. It doesn't look like we're gonna start hauling tomorrow, so probably at the start of next week is when we're gonna be moving corn out of the bin, and then we'll be able to start cutting again. To finish off our day though, it is evening feeding, so I'm down here helping Daniel get all the animals taken care of. We're closing everything up here, so we're moving it all in a cooler, but really quickly, I'm gonna take you outside because, boy, we got a beautiful sunset tonight. Look at that thing. Oh, gorgeous. Well, everyone, I am now home, and today's gonna be a little different. It is not technically date night, so not technically date night, but we are going over to Joel and Megan's house for dinner. What? I know, it's pretty wild. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. But anyway, since we're going over to Joel and Megan's, that means this is where we're gonna end the video today. I'd like to thank everyone for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.